Like, I just love the artwork so much. I'm
Right.
super passionate about it. And I was like, I want to help you out, showcase your work, showcase other people, because I realized if I didn't know anything about tattoos from Pennsylvania, and like talking to my friends, I know they don't know anything.
Right.
It's like more people probably don't know what's out there.
Sure.
So it like drove me to try and build up as much as possible so I can help as many people find the right artist or help the artists bring their artwork to the world.
It has come to my attention that a lot of you come here, watch the content, and don't subscribe. And that fact has been proven by those around me with a number figure of 90%. What's going on? You come here every week, you watch, just hit subscribe. That's it. That's all we want. Don't be a dick. Just hit the button. Do you guys know about Kingpin Tattoo Supply? I don't know about you, but I'm ordering products every week from this company, that company. I got 1 million boxes coming. I don't want to deal with any of that. This place is a one-stop shop. I do not go anywhere else. I go to Kingpin. I order all my things. It comes in one box. I have everything I need to tattoo. It is the best. This is where you guys need to go. I can do you one better. If you use code CAMSUCKS, you get 20% off. There you go. What more do you need? Go there now. Bye.
Today, I have a special guest for you guys, Dakota from Inked Abroad. I'm sure you've seen his videos. What is Inked Abroad?
So Inked Abroad's a concept I came up with a couple years ago. It was like 4 years ago, and I was on a train going from Switzerland to Liechtenstein. I had a clothing company, went to shit. So I was in a place where I was trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. And I was thinking of my passions, which is traveling around the world. I started collecting tattoos in other countries when I was 18 years old. So I wanted to make myself like a walking passport.
Yeah.
And then I used to watch Anthony Bourdain's documentaries.
Right.
So all these thoughts were just like spinning around in my head while I'm looking out that train window. I'm like, what if I start documenting the world of body art? Like studying history and looking for the coolest tattoo artists and making documentaries with them. I was like, you can't just start making documentaries. Like, I don't know how to make a documentary. That's a big task. So I was like, I'll start on social media, start looking for the world's greatest artists, and then just showcasing their artwork.
And this was all on the train.
Yeah, this is the first thought. I have the list of notes on my phone.
Right.
And I was going to do like a world tour.
Okay.
Where I was going to make a documentary in each country and cover like 3 artists. Looking back now, I realize how many speed bumps that would have taken.
Yeah.
And I was like, this will cost like $35,000. Maybe I can get somebody to fund this or something. I was like, no, I got to build up and see if people are even interested in this first.
How old were you when you were on the train?
24? No, 25, I think.
Okay, 25. You're on the
Yeah.
train. You have this idea.
Yeah.
Did it like hit you where like, wow, this is a good idea? Or was it one of many?
No, it's like hit me.
You're like, I got something here.
Yeah.
All
I came up with the name on the spot too. I was like, Inked something. Inked Abroad. And at first I was like,
parts unknown. No. Inked Abroad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what's catchy? I was like, Inked Abroad. I was like, that's fucking cheesy. I was like, no, it's kind of cool. And I texted my mom. She's like, I like that. And I was like, all right.
Mom thinks it's cool. Let's run it.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
So then I designed the little tattoo machine with the airplane
logo.
flying. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, okay, because I was like, first thing I need to do is get a logo, create a brand, and then start doing my research.
Was this 4 years ago?
The idea started 4 years ago.
Okay.
But there was a whole, like, different waves I went through. So I was still trying to hold on to that dying clothing company, making content for that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that age, I was like, I'm not going to make TikToks.
Yeah.
I think it was getting closer to 26 when I started doing the social media.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm too old to be doing this shit. Like, I'm not going to go on TikTok. What can I even talk about? And then I just started experimenting with stuff. And then I dropped the clothing company, started talking about tattoo artists. Things weren't taking off for a while. I was starting to get in my head. I was like, shit, people aren't interested in this at all. And then took a break, started this Would You Rather account that went up to 100,000 where I would just create like some of the most fucked up Would You Rather questions.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So people like.
Would you just say would you rather and then people would answer in the comments?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I would be sitting in my car because I used to Instacart for 4 years, and I would
Veteran.
yeah.
Okay.
I would just sit there 8 hours a day in a parking lot, not get any batches, and I would just stare at the window and be like, "What's the most fucked up scenario I can think of?"
Give me some of your favorites.
So the one I always remember is, would you rather be stuck in a room and no food or water, and you can't leave until you drink 200 Monster Energy drinks,
Okay.
or you're stuck in the same kind of room, no food or water, and the only way to get out is to paint all 4 walls black, but the lights are off, and if you get any paint on the floor or the ceiling, the paint resets.
What was your childhood like? No, I'm just kidding. So which one of these would you rather? Wait, so one's drink 200 monsters.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Paint the walls?
Paint all 4 walls black, but the lights are completely off, so you don't know where you're painting. And if the paint gets on the floor or the ceiling, all the paint resets.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you never know.
Drink the drinks, probably.
Yeah,
You
but that's
die.
like,
What?
You die.
yeah.
You
It's
would
like
die.
10 a day.
I
for-
wouldn't. I'll be fine.
20 monsters, was it?
200. So 10 a day for 20 days.
10 a day for 20. I think the only time like you really have to worry is that first week while your body like acclimates
Yeah, it gets used
to
to
the
it.
sugar. Yeah.
And then because there's no food either.
What's that?
There's no food. It's just Monster Energy drinks for like at least a half a month.
So does it finish when I finish the room?
Yeah, the second you take that final sip, the little magic door opens up.
Mm.
You're free.
What about the paint? Same?
Yeah. But if you got one little smudge on the ceiling, you never know when it reset either. So you're like, oh shit, I finally got the final wall. And nothing opens, and you don't know where you have to backtrack to.
Yeah, that'd be bad. You just have to do the whole thing over. I'm not really good at painting anyway.
Painting sucks.
Yeah, especially with like when I can't see. So you had this account that you started on the side. When did you actually start like putting action to this idea of Inked Abroad?
So it was at the peak of that account, and I was like, I don't want to be known for doing just stupid would you rathers. And I was still trying to hold, like, my Instagram was still Inked Abroad.
Okay.
So I took a little breather, trying to like get my head straight, come up with new concepts, and I was like, look, dude, delete that account, start on Inked Abroad, and build it up. Like, if you just put everything you can into it,
Yeah.
then it'll go somewhere. So then I started doing, and I don't know if you ever saw the old videos where I would spin the globe.
Yeah, actually I have.
So there was a couple talking videos before that, but then I had this idea, and I was inspired by some kind of, or this video on TikTok where this guy would put like a sticker on the map, and it's like the world's most beautiful countries, and it would carousel through.
Okay.
So I was like, what if I do a globe? I spin it, put a little sticker on the country wherever it lands, which was a pain in the ass. I spun that like thousands of times to get that sticker on the country.
Oh, it's because you had it planned
Yeah.
where you wanted to go.
So I had like
You were staging it.
Denmark printed out,
Right.
and I'd spin the globe. I'd be like, oh, miss like 1,000 times. I wanted to throw the globe through the wall.
Were you filming this alone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I just set the camera up,
Yeah.
and then I would post 2 of those a day. So I'd choose like best tattoo artist in Denmark.
Did you eventually get good at spinning the globe?
No. I got good at spinning, but I just never,
Good land.
Yeah,
Never could stick the
ever.
landing.
And like,
Yeah.
God forbid it was like Polynesia or something like that. I'm fucking done.
I ran.
Yeah, fuck. Did you ever just spin it and go wherever you landed, or you always had it planned out?
I knew where I was gonna put it,
Yeah.
so I'd like look at the globe and be like, okay, it's like down here or something.
Yeah.
And then I started like experimenting with it. I was like, maybe I'll look up, and then it just pissed me off even more. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna do
These are the
this.
things you don't think about when you think of starting a company.
Yeah.
you know?
How am I gonna sit here and spin a globe
Yeah.
4,000 times?
Yeah. So you were already traveling and getting tattoos, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't new.
Nope. I got my first one when I was.
Who was your
18.
first person that you're like, you put on Inked Abroad?
Aviu Bengida.
Okay. Why
So-
him?
One of the first accounts that I found, and he does the realism and fine line comedy.
Yeah.
So I was just really fascinated with his work. So I started following him. I was like, holy shit. Because, like, I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So when I was 18, I wanted to crank out tattoos. And I was like, these are so sick. These are the greatest tattoos in
Right.
the world. And then I go on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, shit. there's a lot of cool artists out there.
Yeah.
And I burned through a lot of real estate already. So I started going through that, and then noticed his wife's profile, edit paint,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, so there's more. And then it just became
There's another one.
I was like, there's 2, there's 3, but then I started
So
doing.
you went to him first?
Mhm.
So you went out to Israel?
No, I didn't visit anybody.
Oh, okay. So you were
So-
just kind of shouting him out.
Yeah.
All right.
So then I made the video talking about his artwork, and he commented, and he's like, oh, hey, thank you, bro, so much. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that is
I was
cool. He
like-
could have been like, "Yo, take this shit down."
Yeah, that's what I expected when I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
doing this. I was like, I don't know how people are gonna react. They're probably gonna tell me to like fuck off.
Because you're not a tattooer,
Mm-mm.
right? And this is the first one, right?
Yeah.
You're like, and let's be honest, like the tattoo industry likes to reject things.
Yeah,
You know,
and this was
especially
like
people.
outside of the country too.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like they could reject me in the U.S. I know there's like some hardcore tattooers and then like nice ones, but I didn't know anything.
Right.
And then I was like, outside of the world or outside of the U.S., I have zero idea
Right.
how people are gonna react. But he
So you're like,
was-
let's start with Israel.
Yep.
Cool.
So he was super nice, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He commented, and then he shared it, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like, he was appreciative that I was sharing his work. And then I started doing the Globe videos, and maybe like 1 out of 4 of the artists would share it,
Cool.
and then it started building up as the like profile started building up. More and more artists shared, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
What do you think? How would you have reacted if he messaged you and was like, "Please take this down"?
It would have been tough.
Would you think you would have kept going?
I might have tried a couple more times, but if like
It kept
10
happening?
artists were
Yeah.
like, dude, fucking take this down, I'd probably be
Right.
like, all right, I shouldn't have deleted that Would You Rather account.
Had traction.
Like, like your glow videos are stupid.
Yep.
Like you think you would have just ended it right there?
Yeah.
Dude, it's tough, man. Like
It's-
when you're entering that world and you're trying a new idea. So it's really cool that you got good feedback, especially from tattooers.
Yeah. I was really appreciative of that. And it was like a really nice feeling because I was like, okay, well, I'm helping you guys out. Like, I just love the artwork so much. I'm
Right.
super passionate about it. And I was like, I want to help you out, showcase your work, showcase other people, because I realized if I didn't know anything about tattoos from Pennsylvania and like talking to my friends, I know they don't know anything.
Right.
It's like more people probably don't know what's out there.
Sure.
So it like drove me to try and build up as much as possible so I can help as many people find the right artist or help the artists bring their artwork to the world.
Yeah. Were you already researching like the tattoo industry prior to this?
I started looking through, so I didn't dive into the history and all the different cultural aspects yet. I was just starting to like learn about different tattoo artists. So I wanted to learn about the styles and the differences between the styles across different countries.
Sure. So like when you did Obvious Video, what did you say? Like you defined the style?
Yeah, I remember because I was doing stupid transitions where I would have like my phone in my laundry basket and I'd be like, hey, this is Dakota, welcome to Inked Abroad. And I picked up the phone, I was like, check out this artist. And
Right.
to transition to something else, I'd throw the t-shirt at the phone. I was like, so stupid.
Right, but it was
But-
what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd sit there and I'd be like, this artist, ALLEGORY, does this cool style. And I didn't know the lingo at the time. So I was like trying to learn. And I still like, that's a style I just started like defining because it's that fine line realism mix.
Right.
But I was trying to go with whatever I could figure out to like describe the style and then just dive in and then I have it like carousel across.
Yeah. And then you're getting these good feedback from the artists, and now you got to pick more artists, right?
Yeah.
So how did you start to develop your list of artists?
So after I started the Globes, it was 2 videos that went to like 2 million views,
Cool.
which is what really shot the account.
Like things started to go viral.
Yeah. So I was at 700 followers in November of 2022. So made those videos. I posted 2 a day, and I would just go from one artist and see who they're following, and then I would find more cool artists, look through their profile, and be like, okay. So then I build up, and I would always try and keep the videos where the artist was from, and that was so difficult because artists are residents in different countries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
like everyone trying to catch visas and like waiting in Europe and that. Yeah.
So it was like, these artists are from Canada, and then I'd post the video, and I'm like, shit, they're actually
Did you get it
from
wrong?
France.
Did you ever get it wrong?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
And would they call you out on it?
Sometimes they'd just be like, oh, thank you, but I'm from Canada, or I'm from France.
And were you like, stupid?
Yeah. I was like, fuck, should I delete the video? I have, very early stages, I've tagged the wrong artist, too. Like, because I would put their name under the artwork, and it would be the completely wrong artist, but in the same country. And then they would comment, they're like, that's actually my art. And I'm like, so those videos I would delete.
Yo, because like I don't care what you're doing, like you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure there was like learning curve with that, and like now I hope they're funny.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, not all of them are funny. No. But like, yeah, I mean, like everyone makes mistakes, and of course that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've identified yourself in a role that involves like research, accurate information, attention to detail, like really documenting this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Was it always like that in the beginning? Because it appears, and maybe I'm wrong, that you really like do your research on each person and then like create, you know, a small video about that person.
Yeah. So at the beginning, it was more kind of like finding them, talking about the art, because I didn't talk in the first videos at all. So the globe spinning videos, I would just spin the globe, have music playing, and I would just start getting a list. And then I realized, and then I started doing other transition videos, and then I was like, I need to talk. Like, I need to connect with people.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, now I need to start, like, researching. So I would reach out to artists and ask them, like, if they give me a little bit of their story, something to talk about.
Smart. Yeah. Good responses?
Yeah,
Nice.
usually. Because that's after the account started to go up. So I had a lot more followers.
Oh, which videos went viral?
It was Indonesia and Brazil.
And do you know why they did?
I think just the population, because there's so many people in each of those countries, and they spend a lot of time on social media.
Okay.
So I think it just hit with the right song, and they saw tattoo artists being represented in their country.
Yeah.
But I sat there, and it was 700 followers, and then they started to cook randomly. I was still like 10 videos or 15 videos past those, so they were sitting for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I see it go up to like 1,200. I'm like, oh shit. And then it was 4,500. And then within 2 months, it jumped up to 112,000 on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And I like watched it just jump. I was like, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, people spend 10 years building up an Instagram. I was like,
What did that feel like?
just euphoria.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
like, this is fucking crazy. Yeah.
I was like, it's never going to end. I'm like laying there in bed. I'm like, dude, another 2,000? I was like, I'm going to hit 1 million.
Right.
And then it hit a hard stop for like 3 or 4 months.
So you gain the traction.
Yeah.
This is working on social media. You're like, yeah, people are responding well to my ideas. How long have you been doing this at this point?
This was since
4 months?
about a year.
A year.
From when I first started doing those cheesy.
All right, so you're cranking for a year, bro, and finally the hard work's paying off.
Yeah. I was like,
Going viral. I'm getting the views. Like it's responding.
yeah. I was at the point of like giving up. I was like, dude, nothing's taking off. I'm spinning this stupid fucking globe.
Are you still in the parking lot doing the delivery?
Yep. I actually just quit that this year for the first time.
Congrats, dude.
March
Congrats.
March was my last batch, and I was like, I want to throw these groceries through the window.
Do you still go and film there?
Were you out?
Nope.
Were you in
I should.
California at this time?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like where it's starting?
Yeah, I moved there 5 years ago.
Cool. So then you're a year in, you're getting some attention on this. I mean, is it, what's the day-to-day look like? Is this even a full-time thing at this point? Like,
So every moment that I wasn't sitting there in my car Instacarting, I would come home. So in the morning, I would film the videos, and then at nighttime, I would come home, edit, and I would just, because I'm the type of person that, like, now that I saw it started to work, I want to create more.
fire's lit.
Yeah, because I've always had these ideas, but I'm like, I'm not able to do them.
Yeah.
Like how Elon Musk is like a billionaire and he's like, oh, I want to build a flamethrower. You can just do it.
Right.
Now I have.
Oh, I want everyone to read my opinion. I'll buy Twitter. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So I'm like, now I have an audience. Now I want to start building some of the things I was contemplating before.
Cool. Right.
So I would wake up, film the globe videos, go drive out to Stater Brothers. Fuck. Yep.
All right. I'm trying to set the scene in my
Rest myself out, so I'm already.
Not now, Mom! Yeah.
Yep. Just all riled up. I get in my car and I'm like, all right, here's 8 hours. Because Instacart just didn't send me shit.
Yeah.
So I'd go out to the Stater Brothers, come home at like 9 o'clock at night, and then start editing, start looking for more artists, coming up with new ideas.
Back to the passion.
Yeah. And then went to sleep, woke up, repeat. 7 days a week.
And you just stopped doing that routine? Was that routine for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And then, because when did you start, when did it become more than that? Because I know, like, I've seen you at a convention, like, it seems like you're getting pretty involved in the industry. Was that always a thing?
No. So it was last year, the beginning of last year, I started to get more involved because the Instagram went up, the TikTok went up,
Yeah.
and because of all the, like, support from the tattoo artists, that's what really has changed what Inked Abroad is. Because, of course, there's the people who watch the videos and stuff.
Right.
But I started to become friends and build relationships with tattoo artists.
Right.
And I was like, because I've always, at the very beginning, the whole concept of Inked Abroad was documentaries.
Sure.
So that was, at first, the end goal and what I saw ahead of me. So I started building these relationships, and I was like, well, I want to hang out with the tattoo artists. I want to go to a convention. I want to start meeting people. So started going to conventions. I started doing the Walls of Ink, which was a series I had where I would film tattoo studios. So after I started meeting tattoo artists, I was like, this is great. Like, we're all having a great time. We know each other on social media. And then it built up from there.
Wait, what's this Walls of Ink thing? Was that a side project?
It was in the videos, yeah, it was a side project, and it was where I would go and just film tattoo studios
Yeah.
and have the owner show me around, show me all the cool artwork.
Check out my crib.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like, that's how the idea came. Like,
I always liked that idea, and I haven't seen anyone do it. Because we talked a while ago. We were like making jokes about it. Like setting up like a Michelin program, but for like tattoo shops. We were calling it nautical stars.
That's it.
Whatever. But it just, we didn't have time. Like, what a time-consuming project that would be.
Yeah.
You know? But it would be cool if there was some kind of like certification that the tattoo shops could achieve.
Yeah.
You know, to be special, essentially.
And have a bunch of artists.
You would get a lot of hate in the beginning, but I think that's sick. I would watch that.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, yeah, we're going to create a guide, you know, for tattoo shops like in state, and like if they took it serious, like, okay, obviously like health, experience, you know, art quality, but like had the ranking system designed properly.
Yeah.
And then went around and handed out nautical stars. Yeah. I feel like your idea has come at such a perfect time. Like if you did this even like 10 years ago, I'm very curious like how people would respond, because the industry for so long has had this like F you attitude, like you're not one of us. Like even like I've done projects or businesses, borrow time. The first shop I opened with a non-tattooer, and to get the tattooers to accept this non-tattooer was impossible, bro.
Really?
Fucking possible. Like, dude would bring lunch for them every day. He would like stay late with them, like really go out of his way to like show like, yo, I'm here. You know, whatever you need, I'm here to help. I know I'm not a tattooer, like to be accepted.
Yeah,
And they'd be
nothing
like,
worked.
Fuck that guy. Bro, it just like forever, you know?
That's crazy.
So even me hearing you having this success a couple years ago, like that's awesome. For me, unexpected.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I've heard stories, and that's exactly how I felt going into it.
Have you ever been rejected by anyone or had a bad experience?
No, I've had comments from like maybe 3 or 4 comments, but it's from somebody who just started tattooing. So maybe they are in like the apprentice mindset.
Yeah.
But I never had it from
What will they
an
say?
artist. They just be like, "Hey, dude, are you a tattooer?" And I was like, "No." Like they ask it in like a sincere way, and I'm like, "No, I'd love to one day." And they're like, "Fuck you, stop making videos." And I'm
Really?
like, yeah, they're
Shut
like,
the
"You don't know what
fuck
you're
up."
talking about. You
Dude,
have no idea."
They don't
Like,
have the
it's
right
like-
to say that shit.
You said because they're like young, they like just entered.
Yeah,
Maybe because it was like such a struggle for them to get into it. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know what kind of apprenticeship they went through.
hazed.
Yeah, and they like, bro, I had to do all this to get involved,
Yeah,
and like, and maybe they look at you and get like jealous.
yeah.
You know?
Something, because they were just like, "You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how would you know?" And I'm like, "I'm researching this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm diving. Like, I understand that you're tattooing and you know how to tattoo. I mean, that doesn't mean you know all the things that are going on when it comes to like all the other styles. You
Yeah.
might be just doing one style. You don't know all the other." But I was like, "Damn, dude."
The most, I mean, your videos are on what platforms?
YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Are they all the short form version, or do you do any different styles?
I tested out doing longer version, and I think I'm gonna bring that back
Cool.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
where I would do the same style, but it's more in depth.
Like a deeper dive.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I would choose like a country, and I would talk about the art more instead of having to be like dun, 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 and try and fit it in.
oh, so you'll do like an entire country, not just a specific artist.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'll choose like the first video I made was South Korea, and there's just a plethora of art
Yeah.
from there.
What was one of the first places you traveled to get a tattoo?
Greece was the first one.
Greece.
So I was walking around.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then tell me about that experience. So what? You're 18.
Yeah. And I went with my ex-girlfriend,
Nice.
and that was
Fuck yeah.
what a shitty trip.
I was expecting that.
Why?
So we went, and she was just like a hypochondriac, like over exaggerated everything. And this is one of maybe like the 6th country I went to. My mom would take us to different countries,
Cool.
and we went after graduation. So we go, we're in Greece. I'm just, whenever I travel, I get this euphoria. Like, that's what drives me to keep traveling.
Like manic?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, so I'm just in my head, but I keep calm.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
No, I play cool. Play cool. Yeah.
but whenever I like am in a foreign place, I just love life. So
Cool.
I'm walking around Athens, I'm having a great time, and the one day, wake up, and I'm like, "Oh, I want to go to Athens," and she's like, "My tummy hurts."
Are you still
Well,
here?
yeah, I was like, she's like, "I need to go to the hospital." I was like,
Really?
"We're not going to the hospital. Your tummy hurts." I was like, "Lay down, fart it out, whatever you got to do."
Right.
I was like, "We can wait a little bit. I'll hang out by the pool." She's like, "No, I need to go to the hospital." Calls her mom. She's like, "You better take her to the hospital." I'm like,
He's
"I'm
killing me.
going." Yeah. I was like, "Just relax." And then my mom was also there, and she calmed her down. And she's like, "Now I'm just tired. Like, I don't want to do anything." I was like, "I've never been to Greece before, so I'm going to go explore Athens for a
You
little
left
bit."
her?
Yeah.
Thank
Hell
God,
yeah.
bro. She's
I was like,
Terrible.
I
She's still
tried
there?
my hardest. Yeah, she's still here at the
tummy
Pantheon.
still hurts. Yeah.
Never made it back.
Yeah.
But then we went to Mykonos, and her tummy didn't hurt anymore.
Nice.
So we were walking around, and I saw a tattoo studio, and I was like, that would be cool if I got tattooed in another country. I was like, it's kind of like a permanent passport stamp, or it is a permanent passport stamp. So I went up, and I was like, I want to get happiness tattooed on me, because happiness, or the word happy, is derived from the Greek word. So went in, asked her, double-checked, Googled it. I was like, okay, Google says happiness.
Oh, to make sure it wasn't like spelled
Yeah.
wrong or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So got it tattooed, and then I asked a couple other people. I was like, "What does this say?" And they're like, happiness. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yep. So did that, and I was like, "That's such a cool feeling." I was like, "I love the travel part, but now I have this forever," and it was like my second tattoo.
Were you like asking him questions? Were you like while you were getting the tattoo, or you just kind of kept to yourself, got the tattoo, and left?
Yeah, like we had maybe a little bit of chit chat,
Yeah.
but it was also like my second one, so I was like, "Dude, this kind of hurts."
Oh, your second tattoo.
Yeah.
All right. So you had
Yeah,
other
it was
stuff
this
going
one
on.
and then this one.
Yeah.
Did you look up the reviews?
Nope.
Hell
I think it still exists. Like if I walked by it, I could probably pick it out, but I couldn't find it on Google.
She didn't
years
get a
later.
tattoo?
Nope.
She didn't get like fake symptoms and agree.
Matching
Yeah.
tattoos.
All right, so at that point where you're like, this is something that I want to do and continue to travel?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've always been locked in on traveling.
Nice.
I had exchange students from other countries, and I was just obsessed with like learning about other cultures, talking to people from other countries, trying their foods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I got the tattoos, and I was like, I want to continue doing that. I mean, I don't know how easy it's going to be, but I started to learn. So I got a Canada, I got a maple leaf, and then I think the third one out of the country was India. Yeah,
India.
I got it.
Tell
in
me
a
about
hostel.
India. A
Yeah.
hostel.
Yeah,
Okay.
not
How is the
safe.
setup?
Not the
Yeah.
safest. It
Smells
was
good?
Nope. So we got to New Delhi, and I went by myself with this yoga retreat, and we went all the way.
You went on a yoga retreat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I like learned yoga for the first time.
You're like, I'm going to fake this yoga bullshit so I can get tattooed. No. All right, so
But-
you go to India on a yoga retreat.
Yeah, and like in the place where yoga was born.
All right.
And I go all the way up. I saw the Dalai Lama. Like he came into town all the way up in the mountains.
Whoa.
Crazy. Like we took a 16-hour bus ride all the way up to the top.
You got a kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. And then I got that.
We can leave now.
I got the kiss tattooed on me.
Oh, that's so good. I would literally lose my shit.
I was just like, hey, if he did kiss me, like on the neck, I would have got that tattoo.
Right?
Who
You have
wouldn't?
to.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? You'd
Yeah,
be an idiot.
it's
not
sacred.
to.
What if he missed the spot and got you right here?
Yeah. You
Fuck.
have to.
Still.
My mom would be pissed, but like, Mom, come on.
It's the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. You can't miss that opportunity. And then I got to get one from the Pope, and then I got to
That's
get
right,
one from the
that's
other.
Trump.
Bro, that'd be crazy just to get everyone's lips, bro.
That'd be sick.
Imagine having to actually get it. Like, you just always have lipstick on.
So, if you don't mind.
Kind of my
Yeah.
thing.
Now that we're talking about it, somebody should do it. Because there's that
should.
one guy that gets all the signatures on his back.
Oh, yeah,
You seen him?
Yeah.
So now we're going to find somebody who's just getting kiss marks from celebrities.
Could be you.
I want Shaq. That's a full back piece right there.
Running out of room. No, it looks like you have most of your body. No, I'm not. You have to get...
What was your worst experience?
Like traveling?
Yeah. Like overall, you left, you're like, fuck.
I never had an experience where I didn't want to go back. I mean, when we were in India, it was a little uncomfortable just because we were up in the mountains. It was raining. And I don't usually stay in hostels. I
Yeah.
usually stay in Airbnbs where you can still get close to the culture, but you're comfortable. But there, it was raining. It was like 40 degrees. All our clothes were soaked. So every morning I got up, got in a really cold shower, and put on cold clothes. And then it was like 7 in the morning. They're like, "You ready to do yoga?" I'm like, "Sure."
Wow.
So, and I don't bend either. I'm like
Not
the least flexible human being.
So India was one of the more uncomfortable trips.
Yeah, when it comes, it was one of the greatest experiences I ever had. But when it comes to like,
Why was it so great?
just because I'm obsessed with the culture. So whenever the culture is vastly different from where
Right.
I've like used to, it just, that euphoria kicks in. Like the food, I loved all the food. I love talking to the people, just seeing how the buildings are different and
Yeah.
their way of life.
Have you had any dangerous situations?
2. And
Go on.
there was one in Moldova,
Okay.
and it was walking down the street late at night. Shouldn't usually do that, but we were hungry, so we had to walk like 3 miles.
we?
Oh, me and my friend Bobby.
Okay.
Not
So
the
he was
girl.
also on that trip when I came up with the Inked Abroad idea.
Okay.
So we would travel to different countries. And we were walking down the street, and it was late at night, and it's like 1990s BMW pulls up slow, and I see the lights, and he starts driving slower, completely blacked out windows, and I'm like, all right. And I just saw like a video of Andrew Tate. I think he was in Moldova or something, and somebody like shot at him.
Oh wow.
I forget what it was, but it was like was in my head for some reason. So I saw that, and then we're walking this way. Car pulls up, goes into the alleyway, pulls back out, parks right here as we're still walking up, and then just puts it into idle. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, all right, just play cool. Just pretend you don't see the car at all. You just see the car. Oh, it's a girl.
Don't look at the girl. Don't look at the girl. Yeah.
And then right as we were walking by the car, you like start hearing noises, and then just throws it into first and rips out. Scared the piss out of me. Definitely, I don't think it was a dangerous situation, but I was like,
Sure, it was
out
sketchy.
of my comfort zone.
How'd Bobby feel?
He was super scared.
The same.
Yeah, I was just like,
You like put him in front of him.
I would have ran.
like him. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have given it a chance. I would have ran.
Yeah, if that door would have opened up. Well, I was worried about just like, I could either get kidnapped or just shot right through there. And I was like, I want to get shot.
I'd rather get shot.
Because if I had all like the government's information in my head and somebody started to torture me, it's all going out the door. Like they pull out fingernail clippers and I'm giving up secrets.
Yeah, but you have nothing. So you're like, nothing. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, you'll tell us. And
Yep.
then they'll probably just kill you.
Like we're gonna rip your fingers off anyway.
Yeah.
Like, call your family. Don't give us money. Well,
So what was the other dangerous situation?
The other one was more terrifying. So we were in Colombia
Okay.
and we were on a hotel room, and late at night we had this Airbnb. It was about midnight and we go to sleep, and then I just start hearing banging like a fucking horse is kicking on the door, and I'm just like, wake
On
up.
your door?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I start waking up. I was like, what the fuck? It keeps pounding and pounding. And I was like, a girl screaming. And I was like, did the Airbnb owner piss somebody off here in Colombia? I was like, because we did nothing. We just got here. And just kept banging and banging and crying. And my roommate woke up. He was like, should we open the door? I was like, fuck no. Why would you open the door? So I took 4 chairs, put it against the thing, and the crying kept going on. And I'm just like, I have no clue what could possibly going on.
You got peepholes? Can you look through?
Nope.
Nope.
There was nothing. There was a vent in the laundry room.
You guys tried to look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
I would too.
I didn't see anything. I was like,
Bobby's
it
like,
wasn't-
is she hot?
I'd slide my phone underneath the door.
what do you want?
Yeah.
But it just kept going on. And I was like, if this door breaks down, like we're dead. I don't know what's on the other side of that. I don't know if it's a whole group of dudes that just want to kill whoever's in here.
Ghost.
But I was just prepared for death. I was like,
Could have been the BMW.
yeah, I could have traveled all the way.
Found
I'm just
you.
like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
So what happened?
So it stopped, and we didn't have a phone to like call the front. So I was like, all right, heart's beating, lay back down, fall back asleep. Happens again, and just punching, pounding, the same screaming. I was like, this is it. Like if they came back, I'm done. And just stopped again. So I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. And then I went down to the front desk. I was like, hey, this happened last night. They're like, no, it's probably somebody drunk.
They didn't care.
Yeah. I was like,
Wow. Wrong room.
fuck.
Did they have CCTV? I'd be like, I want to see everything.
Yeah, I should have asked that.
Because if like you look and it's just some really hot chick banging on your door, like,
You should have found
We
where
should have
she
opened.
lived. Banged on her fucking door.
Was she screaming in terror or screaming like open up?
No, it was more of just a crying.
Oh.
It was like the bangs happened, and then it was crying. And I was like, I don't know if like the crying is to get us to open up the door. I don't know who's out there. But in the moment, I was like terrified. And maybe it was a girl that was just really drunk.
Maybe it was your ex. Her tummy hurt.
Yeah. Just pissed.
Could
I told you not
have been a ghost.
Everyone knows what happens in Colombia.
I don't know. My curiosity really peaked the second time around. If it's me and my boy, what would you have done, John?
It probably wouldn't have gone well, honestly.
Would you like do it back and scream?
So I feel like you've traveled more than I have. In almost every country I've gone to, there's been a dangerous situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You-
Like what?
Like maybe like when it first started. So for a while, Chris, the extremely old man that you met before,
White one.
him and I were traveling all over, different countries, and we were gambling in every country. So kind of like Inked Abroad, except lose all your money abroad, right? It was our show we were creating.
Broke abroad.
Yeah, broke abroad. Yeah. But we were in Mexico, and I don't even think I wanted to gamble, but like Chris wanted to.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, "Yo, I found a casino," right? And I think we were in Tulum, like a nicer part, like touristy. And he's like, "We just gotta travel like a half hour outside the city."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I don't really want to do that." He's like, "We should do it." So I'm like, "Fine." So we like walk. It like does not feel like a nice neighborhood. We get to this what looks like abandoned building.
Damn.
Like I'm thinking like maybe there was a casino here and they tore it down.
Yeah.
And it's just not updated. And he's and so I'm there. We can see it. I'm like, "Oops, not here. Let's go home."
Yeah.
He's like, hold on." So he like,
knock.
bro, like walks up to it close. I didn't even want to get close to this building. That's how it looked. And he goes, "Bro, this is it." I'm like, "No, it's not. This is not it."
That's wild.
Because there's a little piece of paper taped to the door that says casino. It's spelled wrong.
Casano.
He's like, and I'm like, "I'm not going in there." You know what I mean? So we go in there, obviously, and it's definitely a casino, but it never felt like any casino. Like I walk in, you can see like some slot machines. You go to the right, there's like some table games.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll just play blackjack." He's like, "I'm playing Hold'em." I'm like, "Okay, do whatever you want. I don't want to be here." So I'm like, I'm playing, blackjack, and maybe for like 20 minutes. I'm getting kind of bored. But I'm betting in like pesos. I have no idea how much I'm betting. So I like asked the person, I'm like, "What is this in US?" And they're like, "Oh, it's like, I think it was under $1." I'm like, "Oh," so I like 100x my bet, And as soon as I do that, I start to get weird looks from people. They're like,
"Oh shit."
and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
So then I'm like realizing that, and I'm kind of like winning. I just feel very out of place. Now I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be there anymore. So I look over at Chris. Whatever I was betting that people gave me weird looks, he has like 10 of that at his table. So I like walk over, and they kind of make you keep a little bit of a distance. So I'm like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm fucking crushing it." I'm like, "I don't know if that's good." Then he starts talking shit about because Chris plays poker mean.
Yeah.
So now he's talking shit about all them. He's like, "Yeah, I'm taking all their fucking money. Fuck these guys.
Jesus.
This guy, lucky on the river, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, I hope they don't speak English. Bro. So I'm pretty sure he took like over 1,000 from these guys. So now I'm worried. And he like comes up and he lets me know this. And I'm like, "Give some of it back, please."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, fuck them." Right? I'm like, "Oh, no." So I'm like, "Yeah, like let's get out of there." So we leave. I'm so sketched out, bro. I'm so sketched out. We're so far from the hotel. We walked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now we're leaving and we're being followed. Not like maybe we're being followed. Like we even did the 3 lefts thing. We're being followed.
By a car or
by people from the casino.
By foots.
Bro, so it's like so bad. And like it was kind of a long time ago. We're walking, we run into cops, which I'm also worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We end up getting home. I'm still freaked out. I'm like, now they know where we're staying at the hotel, right?
How far did they walk? How far did they follow you?
I
you noticed?
lost them, but I wasn't like panicking, but I was just uncomfortable for like 40 minutes walking home.
Hell yeah.
And we're not talking that much. When you're like kind of doing something wrong?
Yeah.
And then like you have the random thought, you're like, maybe I should make conversation so this isn't weird. And then you're like, that didn't work. Still weird. That was going on for 40 minutes. So we get back and like we wake up the next morning, sunlight, we're back in the tourist, and it feels a little bit better. And I'm like, "Damn, Chris, that was kind of stupid what we did last night." And he's like, "Yeah. You want to go back tonight?" I'm like, "Are you dumb, bro?" I'm like, "Are you the dumbest friend I have?" So anyway, we went back that night, right? Bro, but this just kept happening, bro. And thank God, like, nothing happened. But, like, it was...
Did he shit talk the second time, too?
Of course.
Just
bro. He probably
taunting.
took more money, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, see what I did yesterday?
Yeah.
Fuck, we're going
You
hard.
know, like, he came up with not an easy life, so he's not afraid. You know what I mean? He's been beat up before.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever. I'm not made of glass. Yeah. But, yeah, like, every time we've ever gone anywhere... something like that's happened where I'm like, oh, I'm in danger.
That's so scary.
But I like to think it's from living.
Yeah. And it also makes stories. You have something to talk about.
Yeah, it makes good stories.
Because, like, you go and, like, I'm always against staying in resorts. I don't like resorts. Or, like, I always go make sure I stay in an Airbnb if I'm seeing a country for the first time. Because I want to see the culture and stuff like that. But I also want, like, the stories.
Yeah.
Because if you go, like, an all-inclusive resort in Spain or something, and you just get served all the food and alcohol there, and you come back, you're like, I went to Spain. You're like, did you?
Yeah, I think so. I have been to like an all-inclusive resort. Nice,
They
but
are
different
great.
vacation.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing a different thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I want everything taken care of. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to be able to tell people I went to another country. Right? Cool.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Get fat, eat. But then there's like getting embedded in the culture, which I think the move is to like make friends with locals. Right?
100%.
And like, hey, where do I go that's like not tourist? Like, what's cool? Always had the best experiences doing that. Right?
Yeah. It's the best.
Have you ever gone somewhere that like you're like, yo, I always wanted to go here my whole life, and it kind of like lived up to expectation?
China. China was one of those places. That was
Like you wanted to go forever, you finally got there, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I loved every part of China because it was just so
So I've never been. So tell me about China.
China, it's just like because it's one of the oldest societies.
Sure.
So the culture there is just crazy. And like when I went for the first time, I just went to the Langfang convention this year for
Right.
the second time.
Sounds fun
Just
to
as
say.
incredible.
Langfang.
Yep.
Okay.
So
It
there,
was fun to say. Yeah.
we went there, but the first time I went, like I'm still like young and I'm like, this is so insane. All the food is completely different, and the
Like you didn't even
buildings-
know what to order.
Yeah.
You're like,
And
what's that
I'm-
made out of? I'll
Yeah,
have one
but
of
I'm
those.
like super experimental when it comes to food.
Cool.
My sister, my mom, not at all. Like my sister will
The
go to
vanilla.
China and be like, "Can I get chicken fingers and French fries?"
Right. I'll have General Tso's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fried rice.
she's not like that anymore.
Cool.
Which is good because she like tried duck there.
Are you always traveling with a group? Well, China. Were you alone?
No.
Okay.
So I went with my friend Mike.
Nice. Not
who
Bobby.
helps
Left
me.
Bobby behind.
Yep.
Fuck him.
Bobby got married. He
Retired.
he got married, and then we went to 30 countries last year.
Whoa.
So yeah, we
And China was one of them?
Nope. That was just a Europe trip.
All right.
But that was Bobby and I's last big hoorah. So we got married in December, and then we went for 3.5 months to Europe.
Damn, that's sick. But what was so amazing about China?
Just how like vastly different was like meeting everybody and having conversations with them because we went with our exchange student.
Okay.
So we had an exchange student named Kevin, and
Wait, what do you mean you're exchange student?
we used to have them at my house growing
Oh,
up, so they
okay.
would come stay a year.
I missed that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that.
So no, I think you did mention it. Something about exchange students. So you'd have them in your
Mm.
house, and then you.
Yeah, so they would come and stay a year and go to my high school,
Nice.
and then we'd go visit their family.
So you were you like the weird kid that had all these foreign people
Yeah,
as friends? Nice, dude.
it was
That's
sick.
sick. Yeah.
But I was so immature then because I was like
Okay.
15, so I'd like fuck with them.
Ni hao.
Like what? Be racist?
But I would like go in every morning. I'd be like, "Hey Kevin, how you doing?" He's like, "Good." Fucking kick his laundry basket over, and I
Nice.
Welcome
Yeah.
to America.
he was pissed.
Sure.
We called him Kevin.
They're like writing home like America sucks. The boys are so mean. All right.
Yeah.
So later you're like, yo, like I'm coming to you. I'm sorry for kicking your basket. I'm coming to your country. You can put me up.
Yep.
Nice.
It was in the same year too.
yeah,
Probably
that you
like
kicked
this-
his basket?
Yeah, he was probably like this
Bro,
motherfucker.
did he fuck with you when you went over there?
Nope.
He's like, yeah, you'll love tasting that.
Just leave me there somewhere.
Yeah.
Try some faucet water.
So what'd you guys do? Obviously you ate.
So we went out to different dinners. I had Maltai for the first time while
What's
I was
that?
It's like 53% alcohol.
Okay.
There's no drinking age in China.
Oh.
And I was like 15, 14. So that just tasted like pure shit.
That's how old you were the
Yeah.
first time you went there. So you
I
got
know.
trashed.
Yeah.
Right.
Off of like 2 shots.
Nice.
And at the time I was just like, this is horrible. This is literally gasoline.
Right.
But I had it this year.
The first time you got drunk?
It was better.
Close to one of the first times.
Drive around.
My dad drove around, terrified.
Really?
Yeah, because Kevin's mom was sitting in the
Who's
passenger seat.
Kevin?
Kevin's
the
the exchange student.
Okay.
So she's like, my dad's a cop. So she's like, how about you drive? She's like, you're a cop. And he's like, okay. And it's just completely different over there.
Just mayhem.
Yeah. Because there's, I don't know how many people in Beijing. It's
A lot.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Yeah.
It's like a 500 million.
I don't like driving in other countries, bro.
No.
No, dude. Like, I don't know. It already stresses me out driving here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever drive, bro. Like, I live not even a mile from here. That's my commute. You know what I mean?
Driving.
And then, like, because we were in Thailand and we rented the scooters because I was
Oh.
like, let's be dangerous. My buddy and I, we each totaled an entire scooter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Then
never
we did a
drive
hit
the
and run.
scooters there.
We crashed and we ran.
Yeah.
I think that's how you're supposed to do it there.
Just leave
But
it.
yeah, it's like
Totally
never
good.
worked out, like dangerous situation. I was just telling the story about gambling in Mexico. How safe. Hell yeah.
Hell no, man. What's wrong with you, boy?
But because, you know, he's been to a million countries in a million days. And like, I'm like, yeah, every time, like, what dangerous situations you've been in? And it said, not many. I'm like, I think I've been in a dangerous situation every country I've gone to. Yeah.
I've been to 11 countries in one day.
What?
Yeah, Disney Epcot.
Oh, you did that.
Drank around the world, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need a drug around the world.
They do.
Right?
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
ecstasy for Sweden,
Sure.
Yeah.
Coke for Colombia.
What else you got?
Just where would acid be?
Hong Kong.
Oh, Peru or ayahuasca?
Hong Kong?
I'm just gonna be sick when you go there.
Like, where's meth? Is that U.S.?
US.
It's just like Arkansas.
You do crocodile. You do what else they got out there?
Chris, what else I got? What you done? Is that? That's the one where it turns your skin into crocodiles?
Or you just like
Yeah, like eats your skin away.
Yeah.
ketamine.
Hell, I haven't done any of them.
Is there anywhere you haven't gone that you really want to go to?
South Korea.
Okay.
So bad. I actually just canceled that trip
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you cancel it?
because had a lot of moving around and some filming I had to do.
Where are you moving?
Well, like traveling around. And I was going to go back to back from Florida to Portland. I just filmed a documentary in Portland. And then I was going to come home to California for like 6 hours and then fly to South Korea. And I had some stuff to catch up on. I was like, I got to move this a little bit.
Wait. So you are filming documentaries now?
Yep.
And when
We
did
have-
that start? Because that was always the goal.
Yeah.
right?
So it finally
So
came to
that's huge.
fruition. And I was like, I think it's time because I've been traveling around meeting artists and I built my Instagram to where it is and have the TikTok. I was like, let's start making documentaries.
Wow.
We have 4 filmed now,
4 films.
Since
when
April.
did it start?
April.
Okay. And where was the first one?
First one was with Amanda Graves, who does the glitter tattoos
Yeah.
in Bel Air, Maryland.
Okay.
I ate complete
Wow.
shit on that episode.
You ate shit?
Yeah.
Why'd you eat shit?
Because I like to get involved in the artist's life.
Yeah.
So besides like hearing their story, learning about their artwork and their upbringing, and their or the other artists in the studio, I want to dive into their personal life a little bit and just experience.
That feels dangerous.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't know what I'm gonna get hit with.
Right.
And her husband is a skateboarder. They have a half pipe in the backyard.
Okay.
I was like, I went down a half pipe when I was
Oh, you literally ate shit.
young. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure what that meant.
Oh, like eating poop.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, literal. I don't know.
Like you're eating shit, like you're just not doing what you should, or
Yeah, like the
Oh.
episode was bad or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did have to refilm the first one.
Mm.
I
What was the
wasn't-
first one? I'm sure it was like learning.
Yeah,
right?
and I wasn't feeling so good, but I powered through it.
Good.
There's a photo of like my face in the first one versus the second one, and I was just like,
Wait. So how'd you organize all this? Like, you're like, okay, I'm at the point that I'm going to start shooting documentaries. Like,
Yeah.
you decided you were there, right? Okay, so how do you organize that?
It was very stressful
I'm sure.
because at first I was like, how about we just go in natural and film everything authentically? Because I don't want to.
Who's filmed? Just you?
So
You
it
have a
was
crew?
me, my friend Mike. He used to sell machines with Cheyenne.
Okay.
So he's in the tattoo industry, and he used to make videos with tattoo artists. And then we came into contact when I went over to the factory day. So I met him. He picked me up from the airport, almost the same area code as I went to college. I was like, where the fuck are you from?
Yeah.
He's like, Sealands Grove. I was like, that's 20 minutes from where my college is. He's been living out there. So I met him, and we became really close. And then do you know who Nick Fierro is?
What? It sounds familiar. I don't think so, though.
He's a geometric artist in New York, Long
No,
Island.
I don't think so.
But he reached out to me, and he gave me a tattoo. And then I told him about the idea, so he started to come on board.
Oh, wow.
And then we just had a little crew. So
So the three of you.
yeah, and his wife, Christina.
So who did what?
So Nick was like creative director, coming up with ideas, and also was there as a tattoo artist to
Okay.
make sure like just be able to think like a tattoo artist.
Sure.
So if I had any ideas for concepts or stuff, he could have that like extra.
That perspective.
And then he would do filming too. And then Mike would film and also be like producer, or what's the one that like sets up the scenes?
Director?
Director?
Director. Yeah.
Producers like funds it, gives money, and gets
Yeah.
people to make it happen.
Yeah.
You're back on.
Look, there's you.
Hey.
And
All right,
you're
so you got a team now,
Yeah.
which you didn't have before with the shorts, right?
Yeah. So I edited
Right, because
all
we're doing a
myself.
doc. This will take a team.
Yep.
How'd you pick the first person?
Based on uniqueness, I've had conversations with Amanda before, and I was like, I really want to choose somebody. And it also was close to my hometown, like 2
Makes
hours.
sense. Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a cool story to be like, hey, Ink's abroad. Like, I was born here. We could drive down to Maryland. She has one of the most unique styles on the planet. And, like, I just feel like that would be a really neat episode to start with.
Yeah, Ink's abroad. Let's go an hour away.
Stay.
That's what I thought at first. And I was like,
Ink across.
fuck, yeah.
Street.
I was like, all right, well, maybe because I planted that idea.
I'm just
afterwards.
fucking with you. Yeah. That's exactly how I would have started. Like, yo, we got enough variables to worry about. Like,
Yeah.
let's just short and sweet.
Yes,
Yeah.
start local.
Right.
Because it's still like the first four have been local.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
setting it all up is.
Dude, I can't imagine. I'm sure.
So we tried to go the natural route. I was like, we'll just go in and we'll just film everything that happens. That was very difficult.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like,
It's like we'll just throw a wide net and whatever we catch, we catch.
yeah, no structure.
Yeah. So
We did
Yeah.
that too. I feel like we did that in when we went to go visit the Vatican. I'm like, let's do this natural, mank everybody up, and it was bad.
It was
We
so
should
bad.
we should have we really should have like had scenes with talking areas and stuff like that. And it's weird, and I'm sure you felt it too when you have a new crew trying to come onto something. You're like, fuck, I do it this way normally, but it's a single camera. How do I direct these people? And
Yep.
like, what am I doing? Am I doing it wrong? This wasn't what I imagined. Is that how the first one went?
Yeah. And we also ran into an issue. So there was an issue with, like, the camera guys. So the guy that we had along with us had his own way of, like, filming. And he wanted to go the whole natural route too. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then afterwards, we didn't have the footage at all. And we didn't know if we were going to get the footage back. I was like, shit. So that was a whole thing. It went on for like a couple months. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, this
Yeah.
is the first one. I just filmed all this, had Amanda's time. Like, we got her all hyped up. And I was like, if that shit's gone forever, like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
yeah.
So what do you mean by gone? Did he like wasn't talking to you guys, or was he like?
Yeah, he would go on like the weeks of not communicating.
Oof.
I was like working on some stuff, and there was like a little like battle out between them. And I was like, I don't know what to do here because I don't know.
How to
Yeah.
is this a
Anything.
legal
Yeah.
process? Or?
I was just sitting there, and I was like, fuck, like if the worst thing happened, how do I tell her?
Right.
But then we went and refilmed it anyways for the first,
So what did you learn? What was your second approach?
so I wrote out a whole outline.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So by scene, I didn't tell her the scenes and the stuff I'm gonna do. Well, I told her the scene, but I didn't show her the complete full breakdown.
Nice.
So
to try to
she's
get some of that natural reaction.
Yeah, so she's not in her head, but I'll be like,
Yeah.
we'll sit here and get an interview so we can have all the voiceover, and then we'll get the B-roll to put the voice on top of. We'll do a scene at a coffee shop. We'll do a scene at your house. We'll do a scene where her daughter's a cheerleader.
Cool.
So she does competition cheerleading, which inspired her artwork. So she brought me into her world, and the girls like put me up on whatever that stand is called.
Yeah.
Had me do a backflip.
Whoa.
I was terrified
I'm sure.
because it's just like
Like, this isn't in the outline.
there's like 13-year-old girls had me up here, and I'm just like, dude, my legs are fucking locking. They're like, keep your legs straight.
To have your consent.
And now
like-
do a flip.
I was like, I'm gonna fall and crush all of you.
Yeah.
And then we did,
But you did it.
yeah,
Nice.
somehow.
You okay?
No,
Okay.
It's okay if you're not. You can talk to us.
my knees are just ruined for life.
That sounds so cool, though.
Right.
And then, how long do you like? Is it an episode? Is it like a docu-series? Is it like movie length?
So we decided that like probably 22 minutes is the sweet spot,
Nice.
and like 2 to 3 days of filming, pretty much.
Wait, is this up? Is this
Not yet.
Okay.
So we have our editor working on it right now.
Nice.
So he's a friend of Mike's. So we're starting to like, he's going to do the first rough cut, and then we're going to sit together because a big part of the thing, I'm going to do narration. So it's kind of
Cool.
like my story about going around the world, just to fill in any of the middle parts and carry like the episode with, hey, we're here. I want to talk about this culture. This is what Bel Air, Maryland is like. This is what we're going to do today. And then dive into the artist story. And each artist is going to have something unique for each episode.
Nice.
So I really want to capture that and just dive into their personal life.
Now, when you got your crew, you filmed your first episode, like, I'm sure there are expenses that like come with all this stuff. Like, how did you guys tackle that hurdle?
So kind of just pulled it out of our own pocket, and then
okay.
hoping that once we start going on YouTube,
Yeah.
we'll be able to like backlog and expense it back. So say an episode, I don't even know how much YouTube pays. I've just heard that it's the best paying one.
Sure.
But if one episode makes like $5,000 or something, then we can take that and pay back for the flights. Or I hired like a camera guy for $900.
Yeah.
When I went to Portland, I flew him up to Portland, stuff like that. So right now it's all just expenses.
So everyone's just kind of like volunteering their time and chipping in to really try to create something.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Have you ever thought about like taking on sponsors for it or like outside funding? Are you trying to stay away from that?
I thought about sponsors because I have sponsors for Inked Abroad, but I was thinking,
Meaning like the short form content.
yeah, just like the whole, yeah, I guess.
Or is this not Inked Abroad, the document?
It is Inked Abroad, but it's called Inked Across Borders.
Okay.
So it's like, I kind of like have Inked Abroad as the umbrella, and then the Halls of Ink is its own thing.
And are you still doing the Halls of Ink?
Yeah, well, the Halls of Ink is different than the Walls of Ink.
Oh,
I got
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
So-
trying to keep up. Yeah.
There's so many different names I have.
Right. Yeah, Danny, you idiot.
Sorry.
They're different. Sorry.
So there's the Halls of Ink is the umbrella of everything.
Right.
And then there's Inked Abroad, and then there's the documentary series.
Who's coming up with all these names?
Me.
Nice.
I like coming up with names.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah.
Like sitting there, I was like,
Do you come up with them quick or it takes a long time?
usually pretty quick.
Nice.
I'll sit there and just go through, and I'm like, that's stupid. That's
Walls
dumb.
of Ink.
Yeah.
Halls of Ink. Nice, yeah. All right, so Walls of Ink, Halls of Ink. So they're all under the Inked Abroad.
Yeah.
So Inked Abroad has sponsors.
Yeah.
How'd you get your first sponsor?
I was looking through my comments, and I signed up to be an ambassador for Mad Rabbit.
Sure.
And I was super excited. It's like, sign up to be one of our ambassadors. And I didn't
You
think
like put it on
was,
your license.
Yeah. So I can get it
I get it.
tattooed.
I get it. Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know it was like the affiliate program.
Right.
So like I got accepted. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm doing something right. Like Mad Rabbit accepted me. And it's like, welcome to our 5,000 plus ambassador program. I'm like, fuck. I look dumb. I was like, nah.
Never mind, Mom.
And I did like hype her up too. I was like, Mom, I got accepted to all this. And then, shit.
My son's an ambassador.
Yep. She just starts putting it on her Facebook.
Yeah. Take it down, Mom. False alarm.
Profile picture.
All right, so that was the first. You got the ambassador, 1 to 5,000.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was like super excited, and I was like, shit, okay, I don't know what this program is, but then I started like promoting the products and stuff. I was
Right.
like, oh, being an affiliate, that's cool.
Right.
Guys, I gotta tell you,
This
fucking
club.
here.
Oh, right here in America. Yeah.
Hippity hop into the description.
You're not gonna fucking believe this one.
Right.
So then I was going through my comments randomly, and I see Oliver Zach, and then he said, dude, check your DM. I was like, who is this? So I clicked, and then I clicked his profile, and it said CEO of Mad Rabbit, or
Right.
co-CEO. And I was like,
Right.
oh, shit. And he's like, hey, man, we want to talk to you about, like, sponsorship. We want to talk about you, like, joining the team. And I was like, oh, so there is something different.
This is real.
I was like, what?
It's cool. I'm already ambassador.
Yeah. I didn't bring that up until later. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you had an ambassador.
I'm actually
program.
already part of the team.
So then he got us in on like a 4-way Zoom call,
Nice.
and we talked and like starting to build the relationship. Like, how can we work together? Because they're like, your content's very unique,
Right.
so we want to figure out like a way. Because they are
They're like, you're getting views,
yeah,
and we want them.
we want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And they already had a pro team, so they knew how to like do a sponsorship with a pro team artist.
Sure.
But because mine was just completely different, we
True.
started hanging out, and they're like, how can we fit this in? And I usually was against, well, not at the beginning. At the beginning, I was like, anything that comes, I
Sure.
want to be sponsored. But then I started thinking, I was like, I kind of want to rather stay neutral unless it's with like a specific series. Because if I'm showcasing an artist and it interferes with their sponsors and stuff like that,
Okay, that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
I don't want it to
So
get
how do you
too
do that? How do you
messy.
stay neutral?
Well, I figured with
Being an ambassador, I mean, how can you stay
yeah,
neutral?
no, I took a
Seems
fake-
pretty biased to me.
So like that started, and I was like, well, it's aftercare. It can apply to all the people that watch my videos,
Sure.
because a majority is still like people who are not tattoo artists.
Right.
So we started talking and starting to form the relationship over time, and then we made a sponsorship. So I go up there like 3 days a week, and then promote the products.
How did you navigate that? Not only it being your first time, but not really having much to compare it to.
Like a sponsorship.
Yeah.
It felt like
And the reason I ask is because I feel like so many of us, me included, have entered these situations that are completely new grounds.
yeah.
Right. And it's like, how do I even start something like this? You know, how do I work out a fair deal? How do I learn what I want?
Yeah.
You know, what do they want? What's fair? You know?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Just as I went in, and I was like, I really don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I started like Googling. I was like, well, if I have 350,000 followers, how much do other people?
Right. Like
on
to
this?
have comp.
And I was like, I just want to do it as fair as possible.
Right.
Like, I'm very bad when it comes to those situations, and people are like, you need to know your worth. I'm like, I'm just here to have.
I'm worthless. No, yeah, 100%. Because it's like, yo, I want to get what's fair, but I
Yeah.
don't want to offend you
Yeah.
by asking for something.
So it's
right?
always difficult, and it was just like, hey, you let me know what works for you, and then we'll look at it from there.
They're like,
And-
we would love for you to promote our product in every video, and we'll pay you $0.
Yep.
I was like,
Definitely worked for you.
Deal.
fair. I can tell people I'm sponsored though. Right. So it's like, obviously, you guys came to some agreement that felt fair.
Yeah, and it really like that is what helped Inked Abroad go to the next level.
Nice.
Like they came in,
because that's always the hope, right?
yeah,
This will, take me to the next level.
yeah, and it really like saved my ass, helped me have more free time so I could Instacart maybe,
Less.
yeah, a lot less. And I was like, holy shit, like I can actually start working on the things I like instead of delivering groceries to people.
Was there some point in the talk where they were like, "What do you want out of this sponsorship?"
Yeah, and it was
at the time. What were you looking for?
I was just looking for like a long-term relationship. Like I always put everything I can into
Yeah.
it. So even if they gave me $1, I would still be like, hey, I'm going to give you guys whatever I can. I want to build this relationship with you. I want to build it like a family. So I always went at that approach.
Nice.
Because I knew, however, like you help people out, they help you out. And
You hope they do, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, people can.
And I asked because, we had one of those situations once where it was like our first time and they're like, "What do you want?" And I didn't know. Like I had no idea what we wanted.
yeah,
And I was like, "I'll call you back."
We looked at each other. We're like,
What do you want? Yeah.
it's so hard to ask.
But maybe it's just something you've never asked yourself. And I don't mean you, I mean anyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you didn't even think getting sponsored was an option or a possibility. And like all of a sudden now it's come and it's like, whoa, I've never taken the time to think about what I would want out of this. And then the second question comes, it's like, well, what can you get out of this?
Yeah,
Right? And I really think the sky's the limit. You just have to know what you want.
yeah,
And like our biggest things in the beginning is like we're trying to develop these big projects, and to do that costs money. So it's like, hey, I'd love funding for this stuff. I'd love to be able to pay the guys that have been volunteering their time for so long. I'd like to be brought to the next level. I'd like to stop delivering groceries or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
And it's definitely tough at first because you're like, I don't want to fuck this first one up. Like this is like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a grocery shop. I'm like, there's just like a 50-50
Bro, it's like when
way.
you're on a first date and the girl's like, "What music do you like?" And you're like,
Cheese.
What do you like?
I like everything.
Yeah, I like everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, just like no country. Unless you like country.
But then it does get easier because after you start making more content and stuff, then you could be like, look, like you're gonna get these views.
Yeah,
Like if you help out on this, we can help you out on this.
yeah,
Do you have like a standard now? Because like we've learned to like make a media packet, like what we offer. It's almost less of them asking, what we want and what they want. It's like, oh, this is what we can do. This is what we offer, and this is what we're looking to get.
Yeah, so you guys have something prepared.
yeah, like a menu.
Yeah, I still haven't done that. But I've also like closed myself out to that, like you said, because I don't want to get too many like brands involved
Okay,
because my content is very focused on like showcasing the artwork or talking about
Right.
tattoo stuff. So I'm always very like conscious about how many things I'm talking about that aren't related to just purely information and education.
sure.
So I want to keep it as like unsaturated as possible.
Which I definitely respect. With this whole idea that you have, is there like a business plan, like for it? Like, is the idea to like build it up and like this becomes a full-time thing? You live off this, everyone makes money. Is it like a build to sell kind of thing? Is it bring more people in, pass it down to the kids? Like, do you have any kind of concept for what you would like it to become or turn into?
Yeah. So the idea came to me more recently, like within the year, of what the final end goal is going to be.
Oh, awesome. What do you got?
So the Halls of Ink.
Okay.
So
Not to be confused with the walls of it.
yeah, the Walls of Ink has died left.
Oh, that's
it.
gone.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
tried it for a little bit.
All right, so the halls of ink.
Yeah, so the halls of ink is the new concept, and everything that I do is under the halls of ink. I started diving into the history of tattooing a lot more, like from Utsi to the Siberian Ice Maiden to Irizumi.
Yeah, I totally know everything about that.
You don't know the Ice Maiden?
Yeah, Danny, fucking idiot. Sorry, non-tattooer over here. You don't get it. Yeah. All right, so not like current individuals. Like you're going back into the history.
Yeah, and what really like inspired
You know where
that
it started?
Utsi is the oldest tattooed person that we know of.
Okay.
So in the Austrian Tyrolerian Alps, he was the first person to have like puncture marks where he would like insert charcoal, and they think it was more therapeutic because it was in like joint areas in the lower back.
Oh, interesting.
So there's that, and then the Chinchorro culture in Peru where he had dots tattooed across the mustache.
Yeah.
But they thought he used to be the oldest until they did whatever carbon dating. I don't know. I feel like all those numbers are just crazy. They're like, this rock is 430 million years old.
How the fuck do you
Yeah,
know?
and we lifted it up, and then COVID happened.
Exactly. So I lost my train of thought.
Well, we had the first guy, the second
Oh.
guy, right?
Yeah, so they
Chimichurri.
dated them.
Mustache,
Yeah.
right?
Chinchorro Peru
Right.
guy.
I don't know if you knew this, but they thought he was the oldest, and then
Shit, really?
yeah,
Wait,
Learn something
what
new
year
every
is that
day.
you're talking about right now? How far back?
it's carbon dating, Danny. You wouldn't understand it.
What AD? Is this AD BC? Where are we at here?
5,000 years ago, so like 3,600 BC.
You know what
We're in,
BC
like
means?
2000, so
Four
minus
chocolate.
5,000.
Yeah, I did it on my head. I just don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, try your work, dog.
Yeah, whenever the Egyptians were around or whatever.
Okay.
So
Just with some more facts, because I'm glued in.
Yeah. What else you
Oh,
got?
What do you got?
other things. The Maori people would carve with shark teeth into their face. So they would just drag the shark teeth into their face, and then they would fill it in with, it was like the soot charcoal mix, and then they would go into the ocean afterwards, and their face would be like super swollen.
It's like Black Alien Project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just right into the ocean.
So they're like piercers, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except I think they kept their ears.
I see. I see. All their fingers too.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. So shark teeth, they'd rip. And
Yeah.
then they'd put what on there?
It's like soot.
Okay,
There's
but it
like a
would stain.
mixture. Yeah.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is that they would memorize, or they would know exactly what was on their face because it's their story. So when the colonizers came over, they would take them over to Europe, and they would have like deals to buy the land, and they would have them sign documents. And the way they would sign documents is by putting their facial art on it. So as if you like took your face and laid it out flat,
oh.
and they would
it's
redraw
their
it perfectly.
signature.
Yeah.
Like a
Wow.
thumbprint.
Yep. And they would
They wouldn't just
memorize
go, like-
everything. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
But
They
it's
didn't
crazy.
think of it, I guess.
Yeah. Somebody was like, no, just redraw that.
Yeah.
How do you say I'm an asshole?
Yeah.
Lines.
So this is all stuff in Halls of Ink.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what inspired this is I was talking with Philip Liu in Paris at the convention. He was just talking, we were getting into the history, and he's like, there's definitely a gap between the new generation of artists and before, and knowing who came before you, and
Right.
knowing the history. And of course, there's that era of the tattoo artists from like the 1900s and up that a lot of people may not know about. So I was like, he's like, if people forget their stories and stuff like that, then it's going to be lost forever. And that just like circled in my head. I was like, well, I want to do everything I can to preserve as much history as I can while I'm alive. So for the next 60 years or 20 years, however long I live, if I get kicked, I'm going to document as much history as I can. Sit down with the artists who are still alive, gather their stories, study. I have like 170 tattoo books from the history all the way back up,
Wow.
and just redocument and I'm building it on my website, all the books that I have, rewriting articles on tattoo iconography and different icons in tattooing like Sailor Jerry or I just had his name. Oh, like Sam O'Reilly
Yeah.
and the guys that have like pioneered throughout the years.
So, and then you said this is all on your website. So the Halls of Ink is the website.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'll have different things. It'll show different motifs from throughout history, tattooing in different cultures, different tattoo legends, and then I'm going to put stuff because I've been doing things with the Tattoo Heritage Project. So
What's that?
it's a project at the Outer Limits Tattoo Studio where they're going to build a museum for tattoo history.
Oh, wow.
And it's based out in California, and they're almost going to have, or they found a place for the museum. They're just trying to get the funding and stuff for it now, but they really want to build a museum that people can come in and see like all the artifacts from
Shark
tattoo artists.
Shark teeth.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's been your favorite era? Like you were just like, this is my favorite to look up. Like you wanted to know more. If you could travel back in time, you'd want to do it.
The Maori is really interesting. I mean, I'd be scared shitless because there was a lot of cannibals in that era too. So if I like personally came over, they would probably be like, "Yo, you're gonna come and steal our
White man.
culture. Yeah, we're gonna eat you." Which there was cases where sailors would go and they would get eaten, and then there was cases where sailors would come and then they would eat people.
Oh,
Sailors?
And, yeah,
Hell
they like brought 50 buckets of flesh onto their boat, and then they got back to England, and somebody told on them, and they're like banished. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
they were doing it.
Yeah. So either they eat me or eat them.
So right now you're continuing to do your short form content on Instagram, social platforms. You started doing the documentary stuff.
Yeah.
You have your website that is the Halls of Ink, right?
Yep.
Am I missing
Yes.
anything?
Well, the Halls of Ink, so that leads to the big project. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to build it, but I want to build a museum and a library one day.
Okay.
So I want to take all the history from like when I started, even like when I was born, and through the next 10, no, not 10, I'm not going to look, 6 decades
Okay.
of tattoo history, because like Tattoo Heritage Project covering the stuff in the past century, I'm going to live for 60 years and I'm going to keep documenting all this stuff throughout my years. I get collectibles from tattoo artists, I get prints, I get books, flash books. So looking back throughout my whole life, I want to create a museum of the tattoo artists that have lived during my lifetime.
Very
And
cool.
take all that and put it in a library where people can come in and see the different tattoo books, come into the museum, see the different artifacts and all the art that was created throughout these different generations. And
Where do you keep all the stuff now?
in my 50 square foot bedroom.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a bishop, once used by the ancestors.
I was
then-
thinking of asking tattoo artists, like,
To
is
donate
there
it?
any like stuff you don't use anymore?
Yeah.
Start
You can
with-
take Fritz.
Yeah. This
We
is
should-
Fritz. That's his hair. Yeah, we had to redo his hair. You know, it started to get weird.
We
over
should
the
do like
years.
a time capsule. Like put all our shit into there now. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Marlboro neck cigarettes, whatever
be
else is
sick.
in us. That'd be pretty cool.
Open them up on like my 70th birthday.
What, the cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Smoke
smoke
Or
all
like,
back.
yeah, all the time capsules.
Yeah.
You have like a time capsule per studio.
Hell yeah.
That'd be pretty
And it's in
cool.
like a wall. So you like pull it out like a morgue. And you're like, all right, who's got this? And you find just random shit like
That'd be tight.
Yeah, I just put like garbage.
crushed up McDonald's food.
Yeah. Like
All the receipts.
all of like
Receipts.
Cam's most loved possessions. Yeah.
We're donating to
His
science.
car keys
dude.
and shit.
What would you put in there?
What would I put in there?
Your phone?
Yep. This is with a charger. So I hope this works in the future. They change
It was
this
just a bunch
every
of
year.
dick pics. So what does the next year look like for you with these projects?
I think heavy focus on the documentaries.
Okay. That's
So-
where the attention's going.
Yeah, because I want
And
to.
just continue to do artists?
Hmm.
Nice.
So we have 4 filmed now. We're gonna film with Carrie Barba this month. Start her documentary, and then the Murray brothers. You know them?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a Halloween special with
Very
them.
cool.
And then I'll maybe do 1 or 2 in November, and then I'm gonna go to Europe next year for like 8 weeks
Nice.
and do a bunch of different ones, and then kind of have that as like the first season.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it on TV. Like that was the first thought. I had HGTV reach out to me, but I refused to do stuff with them
Why?
because they wanted creative control,
Yeah.
and they were like, we want to do this. You travel around the artists, but we want to put a celebrity in each episode. And I was like, that's going to ruin the whole premise of it.
Yeah.
People aren't going to pay attention to the artist, pay attention to the story, and it's not authentic. And they're like, yeah, but we know it's good for like the TV world. I was like, well, then I'm not doing this. I was like, I don't care. I was like, the authenticity means more than me than any amount of money. So I
They
told
say
them-
what celebrity? Like, here's Burt Kreischer. He's become.
No, they were like, we'll just choose somebody who has heritage in each country. I was like, that could be cool for like 1 episode a season.
Yeah.
But I felt like they had their doubts that people would watch tattoo related stuff on TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I don't care.
Well, I think it's still very like new to the TV world.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, obviously there's like Ink Master, the drama shows, like
Black
you know,
ink.
Black Ink. What's that? Yeah, yeah. But it's still like new.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is cool because that means there's no rules. You know, you can try whatever you want. And then it's also like, well, would it just do better on YouTube? You know, and you can, you know, there's all these like questions that come up to it. So you're not sure if you would do TV.
Yeah, only if I had 100% creative control
Yeah.
would I go on TV. But I think YouTube's a good market because one, like especially these first however many episodes, I can learn exactly how I want the episodes to be.
Yeah.
There's complete freedom. Anybody can watch them. And what was I going to say? There's just like nobody telling me what I can do.
Right.
And like I have the reach already to my audience. So that's enough people that I'm content with seeing these because those are the people that are really going to appreciate watching it.
Yeah, 100%.
Nobody watches TV anymore. We all watch YouTube. We all watch. So I even think like if it went on there, it wouldn't do great regardless.
Yeah.
Master still does not as good. So they're streaming a lot more, like Paramount and all that kind of stuff. TV's going to be obsolete. I believe that.
Yeah. Even commercials. Like I look back on commercials now because everybody's doing like influencer marketing
Mhm.
and doing stuff on TikTok. I watched commercials. I was like, how the fuck has this sold to anybody? Like, I'm not going to see Mariah Carey sing with a Pepsi and be like, fuck, I need a Pepsi.
I need a Pepsi, boy.
You'd be surprised though. Like I love commercials,
Do
right?
you?
Yeah, because I like to see how people are like advertising. So,
Yeah.
like, it's interesting. Like I'll show up at the shop and I'll be like, look at this ad. It's fucking fire. Like this is so good. You know, whatever.
90s
Yeah, that,
were cool.
bro, that fucking Post Malone one for like the gambling. I'm like, this is amazing. You know, and then all the questions like, I wonder what they paid him to do this, and like what the sales are based off that. Like, I just think that stuff's so interesting.
Yeah.
So I love commercials. I never skip them. I'm like, I want to watch this whole commercial, you know, whatever. And then, with the I forgot what I was gonna say. I love commercials.
Post Malone.
Yeah, dude, I just got hyped because we're creating ads like all the time, like for different businesses, and for me, it's like a way to be really creative
Yeah.
and to try to be like the challenge is like, can I tell you about my product and not like piss you off?
Yep.
You know, which is a fun like game for me to play. Like maybe I can make you laugh and like also tell you about one of my products, or like, hey, we know commercials are gonna happen. And most of the time they're annoying and no one wants to be sold. And it's like, can we find a way to compromise essentially on that transaction?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna sell you, but hopefully you're not miserable while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's like people will appreciate that too. Because you
Yeah.
can be entertaining. You don't have to get it. Like when I started making the videos with Mad Rabbit, I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, hey, use this soothing gel because, like, you should. So I started coming up with,
Because
like,
I'll get a kickback.
like, use this code, inked abroad, all that.
Right.
I was like, I want to come up with creative ways or educational ways.
Sure.
So, like, when I was talking about the sunscreen, I dove into the science of how it's just going to, the sun's just going to fuck your tattoos up.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, yeah.
You're like, yeah,
that's
while you're
why you're,
conceptualizing that, you could buy some.
yep.
Yeah, until you figure it out.
Like, you're going to lose your tattoo.
Right.
Like,
How
you will
was,
die.
how was that for you? Because like you, I care about authenticity and trying to remain true to that.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit of a battle. Like when people start, you know, offering you sponsorships, things, money, whatever, and like kind of finding your middle ground, right? Did you go through like a process of that?
Yeah.
Like, am I selling out? Am I overdoing it, underdoing it? How did you figure out what was okay for you?
I had that battle a couple different times, and especially when I talked about things that weren't, like, it wasn't about a tattoo artist or it wasn't about, like, a gift I got. Because whenever somebody sends me a gift or a cool tattoo collectible, I'll just talk about that.
Sure.
I was like, that's natural.
Yeah.
But when I talk about products and stuff like that, I always contemplate, I'm like, how can I make this like super authentic and integrated? And that's why I thought aftercare was perfect, because I use aftercare all the time. Because there's other companies I've talked to, and they're like tattoo products, tattoo machines, tattoo cartridges, and they're like, could you talk about these products? I was like, I have no idea how to talk about these. Plus, I'm not a tattoo artist, so it would be completely pointless for me to discuss.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To kick back also on people who be like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
Right. What
why
if
is
you
he-"
know he's never fucking used one? Yeah.
So I have told companies, I was like, look, I will be like an on-screen actor. So if there's something you want me to talk about, I can come to you. I'll film the content for you, and then you can put it on your page. Stuff like that. Still not like the tattoo machine and stuff like that. But when new opportunities come, I have to figure out whether it's easy to integrate in, because it's part of like something I'm building, like the COCREAT thing. We're building that platform.
What is that?
So COCREAT is a tattoo marketplace where you can go on and find tattoo artists, and you can book with them online through there. And you get to see their whole portfolio, how much the piece is going to cost, or get a custom piece. And the reason we came together is before I met them, I was building a website of like the world's top artists. Just anybody who I've ever like researched and collected. I wanted to make a list so people could easily find tattoo artists, and tattoo artists kind of had like a resource where people could just find them. Like, I'm always thinking of ways I can help people out. And I don't know shit about coding. So like something that would take somebody a minute took me 8 months to try and figure out.
Sure.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, I have like 1,000 artists. I don't know how to get this on Wix. Started like finding pre-made templates, putting that in, website crashed. I'm
You're
like,
this
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave up on it for a little bit, but I kept adding artists. And then I met Tara, and she had COCREAT, and it's a tattoo marketplace. And we started like working together, talking. I was like, what if I put my list on your website? One, it'll help bring more traffic because it's a free resource on there. And also, it'll help because I don't know what I'm doing, and you have a whole engineering team. And then we started doing more and more together.
So were you guys building these ideas separately at first,
Mm-hmm.
and then realized you were kind of doing the same thing, or similarities?
Similar, because mine was more of an informational,
Right.
and hers was a marketplace where you can
Right.
go on and see all the transparency. Like, you can connect with the artist and see how much their prices are. You could buy the tattoo online ahead of time.
Okay.
So you can go on.
So there's like Flash on there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or like you'll see full sleeves,
Yeah.
and it's like you could buy this, you can do afterpay payments on it, and then set up the appointment through there.
Okay. Very interesting. So, not a unique idea, right? Like you, like scheduling, like a scheduling app, like
Yeah.
people have tried to do it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of buzz about COCREAT. And to be honest, I've kind of had trouble understanding what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I've gone on there and I've seen what you're saying. Like I see some artists listed and that you can book with them or purchase pre-drawn designs, and I've seen the price.
Yeah.
Is that all it is, or is there more to it?
So there's different there's different things on there as well. So you can have a tattoo customized. Like if you don't know what you're looking for, there's a generative thing that can help you kind of like come up with a tattoo design to try and
what does that mean?
I don't know how all the technology works with it,
But
but
what
like
about as like a user?
so you like,
You're like, I'm
type in,
stupid, I have no ideas, right?
yeah.
Or however you come up with no ideas, and you like click a button and it's like you should get a lion.
So now
That's what I picture. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, lion's pretty cool.
just hit like a slot machine. It's like,
yeah.
No.
Fuck, I got this one last month. I guess I'll get it again.
get what you get.
Yeah. But so you're saying something like helps you come up with ideas?
Yeah, so it's AI. So you'll go on and you'll type like what you're looking for. Like, I want a lion and thin line, stuff like this.
Wait, this you can do this right now.
Yeah.
Can we pull this up?
The concept creator.
Okay, concepts creator. Cool.
Yeah.
So
So it
you're
helps.
like, I'm a single mom and I have a dangerous side to me. Like you can type this stuff in?
I haven't tried that, but we can try it. We can see what happens.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got find your artist, concept creator, right? Yeah. All right.
Have you tried this?
The concept creator?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that feature yet.
Well, we're about to.
So we're gonna
got-
walk this road together.
Yeah.
Choose your where you want your tattoo, shoulder, neck.
Can we get it on the
Chest.
screen or no?
We would have to put an HDMI on there.
All right.
Can we? I would need to. Can we do another laptop so I don't unplug mine?
So while they're figuring that out, so we have the concept creator, and we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Is there more to
I
the
don't know if it's
website?
gonna fit.
Yeah, so the whole like premise of the website is to help connect people with top artists.
Okay.
To make sure that they go to people who are well qualified, have good reputations, and make sure that they don't have a bad experience.
Okay, so this is kind of like how we were talking about earlier, joking about the Michelin stars.
Yeah.
It's like approved artists. It's some
Yeah.
kind of system.
Yep. So
Who approves them?
so they started in New York.
Yeah.
They're doing it geographically, because that's where they're based. But she built a team of artists ahead of time who were like the founding artists, and they came up with the concepts. And as they started to go, they would sit down with artists, learn about how their process is, kind of do like interviews.
Did we have any questions for Dakota?
We did. Mike Miller, our boy, he said if there's any place that you've gone so far that you can move to, where would it be?
At a lot of places.
India?
Wow.
Probably not the first couple.
Colombia?
France,
Where in France?
probably Marseille
Okay.
or Bordeaux.
Hmm.
I love France, and I've been studying French for the past 2 years.
Nice.
It's fucking tough.
What? Whew.
Oui, oui.
Way.
Let me see.
We're actually
Yeah.
going there Thursday.
Yeah, with Lahel.
Yeah, dude. Have you spoken with him at all?
Yeah, a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah, super cool guy, and I just
Wow.
love-
Not to me. That's cool that he's cool to you.
How many times have you gone over there?
Just once, and then he's come here a lot. But yeah, he's just the sweetest. I was like on the phone with him this morning, and he's like, "Oh, I have the whole." I feel bad, bro, because we go there and he plans the whole trip out.
Really?
Bro, he's bringing us to this place, this Michelin star restaurant, that. I'm like arguing because he won't let me fucking pay for anything, and then like we come here and we're like, "You want to go to Chick-fil-A?" You know, and it's like,
This is what we got.
yeah, and he's like, "Why is all the lights turned on all the time? And why do we drive everywhere?" And you know, so it's like I'm just trying to keep up.
Yeah.
It's hard being his friend, honestly. He's like too good of a friend. So
The hospitality over there is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, and I made friends over there, and I'm just like, yo, please, like, this is a lot. Thank you.
Yo, but I feel like the hospitality is, but they do it so that they know they're better than you. That's the vibe I get.
You think?
It's like I'm pretty hospitable, right? And it's like, yeah, and they're like, more than you, right? And I'm like, yeah. That's how it feels, bro. It might be in my head.
Showing around, they're like,
Yeah.
look, our country is thousands of years old.
Right. Like, what's
Your
yours?
country, it's like 100.
Right. And they're like, what do you know about your culture? And I'm like, "Pfft,
Cheeseburgers, NASCAR,
yeah, nothing.
hot wings,
Right. Yeah.
McDonald's.
And then I just feel
Pretty-
dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, especially like from Pennsylvania, because California's got a lot of culture, but
What does Pennsylvania have?
fucked. We
Nothing?
got the Amish people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from New Jersey. We used to drive over there to get cigarettes. Gas was cheaper.
Yeah.
We got that.
Lemon and bologna.
What? What?
Yeah, we're famous for our
Lemon
bologna.
and
Lemon
bologna?
bologna.
Yeah, they drop a giant piece of bologna for New Year's
All right.
in the middle of the square.
Pennsylvania hospitality.
Gets nuts.
Pretty cool.
How big is a bologna? Bologna size? Oh, so whole. Okay, so not sliced.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was
Gotta work
like,
for it.
I get you, buddy.
yeah, there's a lot of
Go get Taylor.
weird things that go on
So
in
you live in
Pennsylvania.
Bordeaux,
Mm-hmm.
some parts of France. Where else?
Portugal
Portugal.
and Lisbon. I love it there.
Have you been many times?
Just once.
That sold it to you?
Yeah. I think it's because, like, California ruins it with the weather. Like, because I consider moving back to the East Coast. I miss the East Coast.
Oh, you mean like it's hard to beat the weather out there?
Yeah.
What about the people?
I prefer the East Coast people.
As do I.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to move home, be with my people. But
Yeah.
I was like, it's cold as shit over here.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, it's hot here.
It is. Honestly, bro, it took me forever to get fucking used to
Yeah.
living here.
Because it's like 140, it feels like.
Yeah.
With
And
the
every
heat.
time everyone visits, they're like, is it just like this all the time? And you're like, yeah, sorry.
You know,
Right.
Rain.
can't help it.
Did we have any more questions? I
You
know.
can call me
A
anytime.
lot of questions.
Listen,
Process
man,
them
we
one at a time.
You know how hard it is to try to get this shit to scroll? I think she was hitting on you.
Well, Dakota, you have a fan.
Hi,
Shout out, Naya.
my name's Dakota.
I think she was like, oh, he
Are
can
you in a relationship?
contact me anytime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it easier that way? You don't have to
Very.
deal with tummy aches?
Yeah.
Inches
Nice.
go up.
A lot of stuff going on.
Right.
So I'm like trying to balance.
Mhm.
Because even like
How often are you traveling?
this year's been picked up a lot. So like I work during the week and then pretty much every weekend going somewhere. But I need to like cool down on that.
Why, it's getting too much?
Yeah.
Living out of a suitcase?
Yep.
Paying rent on somewhere you don't live?
Yep. I'm just like, because I like have that psycho mentality. Like I want to do so many things now. And
Got one.
even like listening to me talk, you probably get that. Like, so many projects
Yeah, yeah.
balancing them.
Interrupting us. What do we got, Danny?
Listen here. We got big
Very
old
good question. If it's about fucking machines and voltage, I'm gonna lose my
It's-
mind.
John Nelson, tell us a story. Tell us a story about being rejected by the industry. How did you overcome rejection?
Did you tell a rejection story?
No.
You didn't?
Oh,
You got one?
no.
Have you ever been rejected by anyone? No.
Nope. Just those,
Nice, bro. Damn.
just those
You're
comments.
Rejected by the industry, dog.
Next time he has to come on the podcast. So you know.
Fucking cooked.
Really, you've never been rejected? You can't remember one time? Not even by
about
like,
women.
your parents or
Meemaw was not thrilled.
Meemaw? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hear this story.
Meemaw.
It didn't go well for you.
No, Meemaw
Good.
doesn't like
All right, let's hear
tattoos.
this story.
And I told her, because Meemaw always wanted me to be a doctor, and I went to college, and I just failed my chemistry final. I was like, all right, I'm going to switch to business and figure this out later. So I just continued to have a good time. And then she's like, you should be a doctor, you should be this. And I was like, Meemaw, I'm doing tattoo stuff now. And
Yeah.
she's like, okay. I just like kept pushing it off. And I was like, no, Meemaw, like, I'm going around traveling, got my knuckles tattooed.
She didn't like that.
Nope. Meemaw doesn't like
Called
the
you a loser
knuckles.
to your face.
Yep. She actually jumped me.
Really?
And then my grandpa got round two. kicked me out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's abuse.
Yep. Broken collarbone.
What's her occupation? Why is she setting so high? That's standard.
Mom,
Yeah,
she's
what's
a nurse.
okay,
So
good.
she picks you up.
Yep.
She passed that chemistry test.
Yep. They both were nurses. So she's like older generation, wanted like
Is she still alive?
security. Mm-hmm.
Is she watching right now?
I'll tell her
Shout
to.
out.
Love you, Mimo.
Camera's over here.
Do you think she
Love
loves
you,
you back?
Mimo. I don't. I'm scared to ask.
So you've never experienced any kind of rejection from the industry.
Well, what do you mean, like?
You know what I mean.
Like you're. What's going on behind me?
I've had, I think.
All right, I'll tell you a story
Okay, and I'll see.
about us,
Mm-hmm.
Danny specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe if something comes up, you could tell me.
Yes.
Something, so it's fair.
Sparks.
All right. So let's see. Good rejection story. Well, I mean, pretty early on. What about the tip-in one? Should I talk about that one?
Yeah,
Or you got one you like better?
I mean, we were rejected by everybody in the shop when we started doing tattoos. I mean, TikToks and shit.
We face rejection probably the whole, even now. But that's good. I mean, I like it. I
Yeah.
think it's good. But that's like our story, where yours is kind of like you got hope right away and you felt good and you're like, yo, I think I'm onto something.
Yeah.
Ours was more like, wow, people hate this. This is fun. Let's just keep doing it. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know? But we started to like gain some traction. And then we made a video about tipping. Pretty harsh. Like where I'm kind of like a character in the video. I'm a character in a joke, non-real video. I'm a character in a joke, fictional, didn't actually happen video, right? And I'm like pressuring the customer to like tip more.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like it. This was common for our videos, people not liking it. You know, I think it's what like fueled us to go viral.
The more comments and the
We're
more.
fueled by hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're love and hope. We're hate. You know?
Making the
And,
world round.
No, but we had a few like pretty big name artists reposting the video and pretty much saying that I was a fucking asshole, right? And like describing like, yo, how could this guy, first off, like who the fuck is this kid? How
Yeah.
could he say this? You know, my clients work hard jobs all week. They save their money, you know, to spend it on this tattoo. And then this fucking asshole comes in and say I should just give free more money on top
Yeah.
and be ungrateful if I don't get it. Right? And I'm like,
Ugh.
yeah. No, no. But we made a video.
Yeah.
We made a video
People
like
took it
talking
so
about
literal.
tipping, and they got like really upset. And big name artists that I kind of looked up to, pretty much saying like that they hated John Nelson and that he's a loser.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not good enough to expect a tip, homie.
Yeah. So, but this was kind of a point in like our journey where we had to decide if we were going to respond or not,
Yeah.
you know, which wasn't something we ever thought we'd have to deal with. Like, oh, what are you going to do when, you know, everyone talks shit about you? Are you going to like respond, leave it alone, whatever? The channel was never about, or like the projects were never about like starting shit with artists or like singling out anyone. So we decided not really to respond. I mean, we made like inside jokes and like videos for us, but we didn't, like, roast it, you know? But it was tough, you know, because just like you, like we had an idea and we're trying to create something, and then, you know, we have people that I'm looking up to, like rejecting this idea, like what you're doing is wrong, you're an idiot, you're like everything you can think of,
Yeah.
you know, on top of all the people in the comments, like, you want to find out about yourself, post a video on TikTok.
And it goes over
Let
a
you
million.
know.
Yeah.
A sniper's dream. Like, they'll fucking get you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comments are fucking.
Our
horrible.
people actually defended us, so we didn't have to do anything. By our people, our fans did,
Oh, that's nice.
which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, we would check it daily, be like,
I didn't even really realize like we had fans until that.
that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
But the comments, like, they'll get in there. Some people, once it gets over 1 million, people will start coming in. Like, I'll have people come in and be like, can you just shut the fuck up and show the tattoos?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I'm really good at the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it anymore.
So is Adrian.
Yeah, because I'm.
Adrian's really
He's
good
a
too.
man.
Adrian's really good too. But like we have a responsibility, you know, we have these accounts and they help out a lot of people, and sometimes, you know, our comments are too funny and then the account gets banned.
Yeah, you got to behave.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I've gone in and I'm
You
like,
gotta behave.
all right.
So now did that inspire a rejection story in you?
Yeah. So now I'm, like, thinking about it. But there's a couple different incidences. I see it sometimes when I make aftercare videos
Yeah.
because everybody just got away with aftercare. So I'll have artists come in and they're like, why the fuck would you use that? Why would you waste this? Use Aquaphor, use this, this, and this. So whenever I
Yeah,
make
I'm sorry
that,
about that. I didn't mean any of it. I was just having a bad day.
it's okay.
Yeah, so they'll come in, they'll talk shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it was recently, we were at a tattoo convention and my friend Mike, the one that's on the documentaries, was like going around talking to artists and like name brought up, and I guess there was something, he came back and told me, but he's like, yeah, there's a couple of people that just said that you're fucking ruining the tattoo industry, and I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Who said
I
that?
was just like, it was like old school tattooers.
Yeah.
So I've always dealt with that as well. Like old school tattooers that hate the new experimentalism
Sure.
of designs and
Right.
fine line, microrealism, and stuff like that. So a lot of my content is like I hit every style of tattooing from traditional to microrealism to surrealism. But I have a lot of really unique styles that are on there. And I feel like I get a lot of backlash because some tattoo artists just do not like any of the new stuff.
Right. And there you are saying it's amazing and the style
Yeah.
I found and da-da.
And at the end of the day,
cybersigillism sucks. Why are you highlighting this style? Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm like, at the end of the day, it's beautiful art. This like the cool thing about my platform is that I'm helping people find something for them.
Right.
Like I had a 55-year-old lady comment the other day. She's like, I'm about to get my first tattoo because of a video you made. I was like, that's
Sure.
awesome.
Yeah. That's
But-
really cool.
Yeah. So I like stuff like that because there's something for everybody now.
Yeah.
But I do get the backlash sometimes.
I think it's impossible to achieve a large audience without negativity.
Yeah.
You know, like if anything, it should show you like, cool, I've entered that bracket, right?
Yeah.
But it can be hard to deal with especially when it first comes. You know, I know people, like even friends that have like way bigger audiences than me, and they still like really struggle with the rejection, the backlash. You know what I mean? So if you can like find a way to detach from it and just like stay the course, I think
Yeah.
that's the best. And like, dude, I've gotten tons of backlash from the old timers, and you know, whether what I'm taking from it is like maybe they're saying like you're changing the industry, maybe not ruining, like changing.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't like that, you know?
Because it's
But-
like you said with that closed group, like if I did this 10 years ago, a whole different world than what it is now.
Yeah, it might burn your house down.
Yes.
So we do have a question, a live question from Louis Tattooey. Great name. How do you deal with burnouts, both of you?
You go first. I started with the rejection thing.
Yeah.
Burnouts, like getting burned out from doing all this work.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I just keep pushing through. Like I will have days. It's happened recently a lot because I'm moving around and traveling, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm doing a lot. There's a lot of eyes on you, and it's just like can't think straight. You want some time to sit, but then I go and sit down and have a day where I'm just like hanging out in my bed watching TV. And I'm like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
Like I need to be doing something. So I just kind of like let it pass, keep going. What helps the most though is hanging out with friends.
Getting some like me time, some not work.
Yeah, because at least friends, you have to disassociate yourself, or else you're just a bad friend.
Yeah.
You're just like, so going to hang out with friends is probably my best one.
I agree. I think like you learn your limits and they can change, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm working 7 days a week, it's too much. Then I learned that by working 7 days a week for a while. And I was like, oh, the art's lacking, personality's lacking, doesn't translate well on camera. I'm being short with people, memory loss, right? It's affecting my relationship. So for me, it's like I have 1 day a week that I like spend with my wife, and I literally crash like it's dungeon day. Like I really try to not leave the house,
Yeah.
and I do like nothing, bro. Like I'm watching TV and gambling on my iPad the whole day.
Hell yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
And then I'm ordering like donuts. Like usually I on Sunday, I'm like ordering. Most donut places have like the dozen bestsellers.
Yeah.
So I've just been like choosing every place in a 30-mile radius and just trying a new place. And then I invite Chris over at 2:00 and I'm like, try these donuts with me. And we've been doing that.
That's an incredible setup.
Yeah.
2:00.
I'm like, these weren't as good as last week and whatever. And I will say, bro, like so far, like you're doing like Inked Abroad, I'm doing like Donuts Abroad.
Yeah. that
And
would be
like
sick
the top
series.
one on my list is this place, Mojo Donuts. It's literally amazing. And I'm actively trying to find a place that's better than it.
Yeah. You could be like Dave
so-
Portnoy. Just stand outside. and give
Everyone knows the
donut
rules, you know,
rule.
one dozen. You know? But you know, let COCREAT know if they want my donut list. I
Yeah.
got them. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be
But
integrated.
no, it's like for me, like I need 1 day to completely check out. I do not fuck with my phone, and then I have a separate day in the week that I try not to really make plans for, and it's like my day.
Yeah.
Like I don't chill with my wife, and I can be spontaneous on that day. And a lot of those days I choose to work, but it's like I'm choosing to. It's not something that's already scheduled. So like if I want to go have a meeting with this person, or if I want to have dinner with that person, or if I want to work on some weird series with Alex, but I get to like wake up and decide my day,
That's
because
nice.
so many of my days, like every fucking hour is planned.
Yep.
So like having that freedom, you know, the balance of the day where I can just completely check out, and then the day where I can just make it up as I go, and then 5 days a week are planned out, you know. So that helps me with the burn.
Yeah. Lifts a lot of weight off your shoulders when you can wake up and you're like, I could just do another dozen donuts
Right.
2 days in a week.
Yeah. And like for me, the gym, like I hit the gym every day.
Yeah.
Just for mental health.
That's what like. I've been working out for years, but then I took like a break for a couple months.
Right.
And during the middle of the day, I'm at Mad Rabbit, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I start going back to the gym, and I'm like, oh, you're supposed to exercise.
Yeah. Oh, this body, I have to move it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I got a bunch of energy now.
Not taking any more questions. Clint Eastwood said, "No offense, your satire is just way too convincing." Thank you.
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, thanks.
Damn. Hell yeah.
Way too convincing.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Your satire, your character is way too convincing.
Would you consider your content like you have a character?
I'm definitely more, I don't know, because I'm very, what the fuck's the word?
Like autistic?
Yeah.
Was that the word you were gonna say?
Yeah, that little fall in that
That's what I'm trying to
category.
read people's minds.
Like, I'm very energetic.
yeah.
So, not all the time. Like, you and I are talking, and I'm not screaming at the camera. But when I'm making the videos, I'm a little more excited. I'm talking about something I love, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I got a minute to talk about all this stuff. But you can see that in, like, my day-to-day life.
Can you turn that on when you need to?
Yeah.
Like right now, you could turn it
Yeah.
on?
So,
Could you give me like an intro for like the Unemployable podcast in your version?
yeah.
All right.
So, I'll look at that camera.
Yeah.
You would think. All right.
I'm really putting the pressure on you.
Yep.
I think you can do it
This
though.
is go time. This is the greatest fucking podcast you're ever going to watch. It's an episode between John and I, and we're going to talk about some of the most interesting topics you could think of, and we're going to dive deep into the cultures of different tattoos and different funny different funny topics, stuff like that. So stay tuned.
That's the trailer right there.
I mean, I would have liked a globe spin, but otherwise, like, really good.
Take that, beer.
Could you do, like, you know how you're always saying, like, positive things?
Yeah.
Could you do one about me where you're saying, like, I just found the worst tattoo artist? You guys definitely do not have to check this guy out. His name is...
Yeah.
You think you could give me one of those?
Yeah, you want me to do it?
Yeah, if you
So,
can.
all right. It's all going to be lies.
Listen.
I mean,
Go ahead. You literally can't offend me, not after the TikToks.
yeah.
If you're looking for a tattoo artist who is going to completely fucking butcher your skin up and just absolutely, like, you have a concept and it's one of the most simple designs you could possibly think of, and he is just by far way off, John's the guy to go to.
That's right, everyone. He's too poor to afford other needles, so he's learned to tattoo with just a 3-liner. The topic was brought up.
Are you tired? names that are spelled correctly? Do you find yourself texting during ad reads for companies? Well, I do. That's why I use Allegory Black. Are you tired of your black arms looking blue? Do you suck at tattooing and you want to get better? Use Allegory Black. Allegory has normal black and ultra black. Just when you thought it couldn't get any darker, they put out ultra black. Use Allegory ink. It's the best ink on the planet. Go to allegoryink.com, discount code Unemployable for 20% off. I know, it's crazy. It's so much money. You really should pay full price, but we have a discount